Hello, Libra. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. But first, we're going to start with pulling a singular card from the deck. We are going to see kind of where does this lead us? Where is this going to what energy are we going to start with, basically? So we have the Knight of Discs. Okay, so we are in that material world. We are in the Malkuthian sphere. Okay, that is our daily life. That is our home. That is our work. That is our physicality. That is the world that we share, right? So when we have the Knight and that earthy energy, we know that this is a place of mastery. This is a place of ascending to your highest form within the material world. So you are in a place of power in the physical, right? You are in a place of power within your resources, within your home life, within your work life. Maybe not all of them at once, right? If you do, then, you're like an ascended master. But, this is a place where you can firmly say, yeah, I have a pretty good grip on life, right? I have a pretty good understanding of things and how they work and how I can partake in that system and make it work for you. So I'm happy to see that energy at the beginning here, Libra. It gives me hope that there's a lot of good things going on for you. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to take a look, and I want to say thank you for clicking on the reading. It is always really a huge pleasure for me, an honor to be able to do these readings at all, to share in your energies, to do these exercises, really connecting with spirit and so on. So thank you for being here. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, it helps the channel, of course, and we will begin. So we have over here, it looks like a person, kind of a humanoid figure, but I almost get like the head of a chicken, right? The head of a bird. So this really does remind me very much of the energy, well, honestly, like of a high priest, yes, but there's almost a sense of the boogeyman kind of energy, like almost kind of things over the top, like, really having these moments of alarm over things that maybe you yourself wouldn't really, experience in a way, like maybe superstitiously or catastrophizing, or these high levels of anxiety. Now this person, and I'm thinking almost in this Hierophant energy, because, well, they're wearing a mask if it is a human, right? But also this kind of almost like robe-like. So I feel like you've run into a situation or maybe an ongoing kind of atmosphere in your life where somebody or somebodies seem to be kind of almost like, well, I feel like this almost alarmist, like doom, everything's falling apart, the world's coming to an end, these kinds of things. And maybe that's true. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say day to day what the heck's going on anymore. But I do know that when we have these moments where we are communing with somebody who is in this state of almost kind of existential terror, of course we empathize and we don't want anybody feeling that way. We know what it feels like to have these kinds of fears. Now, amplified, it can almost be like suffocating, like you're drowning in it, and somebody else's, I don't know. It's terror, fear of the unknown, or thinking what they know about the world and how it's going, that things are going to get worse in a way that makes them fear. And that's understandable. It's hard to not sometimes get into that thinking, right? But I think for you, and I see this person over here who is standing here kind of looking up. Now, we also have, if you look close, we have the bird right here. We have the illuminated kind of torch or candle. Okay, but we do have this larger image of a person. Now we also have the eye, and this almost looks like the Sacred Heart to me. It has that feeling, definitely. And really what I'm getting from this, Libra, is that, yeah, of course, the world is in shambles in some ways, right? But we also know that that's always true. To some degree, right? The world doesn't feel the same as it did before, but honestly, it never feels the same. Things are always changing. So I feel like you are a person that you're staying in kind of your rationality, but you're also allowing yourself to feel the anxieties. You're allowing yourself to, at times, worry and plan and, follow the trends of things so that you can find those patterns. But I also think that you are very devoted to keeping yourself centered, even, balanced. Okay. Now, that's not that you are just ignoring everything, but I think that you come from a place where it feels energetically anyways that you are here, or at least you perceive yourself to be here to really like uplift the collective, right? To be an aspect, a strand in this greater totality that is something that brings a little color to life, to the universe, a little love. And really to be, I think, solid for people around you. Now, I know that shouldn't be anybody's job, really, to have to carry sometimes, right, the fears and anxieties of those that you love, that those that are around you. But you seem to be somebody that can look in the face of all of this and say, no, there's still more to do. There's still more that we can be doing, There are beautiful aspects to the world. There are, always balancing energies. And I feel strongly that even, you have people in your life that they might be in terror, and there are also people who are, kind of dwelling off of the negativity of the world. I mean, let's just be real. I feel that you have great empathy for this and for people in general, but I also feel that you are in a place where you have begun to really guard your peace, to guard your ability to function in a rational way, to make your moves in clarity, not in desperation. And so when you are faced with these moments where there are heavy things happening, which is basically every day now, right? And there are people in your life who are reactive, and that's not reactive sounds like a negative. It's not, right? We're beings. We have these brains and these emotions, for a reason. We react to things, and we experience things, even if we are not involved at all. Even if we don't barely understand what's going on, we still feel. We still feel. Now, the point isn't to stop feeling, but it is to know how to help navigate these energies, how to process them through, how to not be so affected in a way that is destabilizing, right? And so I feel like, and I'm looking at that bird, I feel like you, through your work, have a message. I feel like there is a sense of maybe sublimation happening here. Maybe you are a creative person and you are, channeling some of these energies into your work. You might be somebody who, writes, or you might be somebody who is just like a really, prolific poster online or something, but you affect people. Right? They read what you have to say, and that puts the energy out there. And I feel like for you, you take this very seriously. You take your place in this collective seriously. So I do feel that this is an important role for you to be playing. I feel like we need more people in the world who aren't being dismissive of how people feel or what's going on, but are able to navigate all of that in some way and still stay, pretty even keeled, pretty balanced. Not a lot of us are able to do that. I know I have my days. I feel like I go right off the deep end emotionally. But you're a solid for a lot of people in your life, for the people that you are close to especially. Now, I'm going to turn this thing here. I want to get into I'm trying to read this. It looks like it says PLU plunk, maybe? I don't know. The first thing I saw, honestly, was lust. L-U-S-T. And then I saw it with the P kind of off by itself. So we're going to go with lust. We also have a person on a boat here, and they have that bird again. So the boat indicates to me that there is movement. There is a change in your life. I feel that there's almost this kind of a heightened sense of maybe pleasure, and maybe it is a sense of lusting or wanting or haughtiness or whatever. But I do feel like more than anything, it is this like drive to break out of the noise of things and to be able to live. Right? To be able to experience life without all these layers of, information and feelings of defeat, of crisis, of, again, fear, these kinds of things, and to step out of that even just for a little while. But I feel like for you, this has like been a life-changing experience in the last, it has to, the last 5 years or so, a lot of us, right? We've had these like continued awakenings and awakening to the different levels that we find ourselves on, experiencing life and continually changing circumstances and really the atmosphere of the world. And it feels, I don't know about to you, but the world feels a lot different than it did 5 years ago. right? And so we are evolving, and we are going along with, we can't help but go along with, right? But at the same time, I feel like there's so much noise, there's so much stimuli, there's just, you're being pulled in so many directions. You're supposed to know about every little thing, whatever's being talked about widely on the internet. Everybody is an expert on it. How do you keep up, right? And so I feel like there's like a sense of, okay, I'm breaking away from this. I am moving in a different direction, and I do. And I feel there is a heightened sense of being able to breathe, being able to think, being able to, just kind of sit in the moment without thinking, oh, shoot, I gotta, or I should check, or, oh, what did, all day long. Our busy, noisy minds. I need a drink here. My mouth and my throat have been so dry. It just, I don't know. Things are just a lot. They're a lot, aren't they? We don't necessarily talk about where we live a lot here on our channels. And I say we, talking about my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. That dude over there. But, I lived in Minneapolis for a long time, and, things are going on up here in the last day and a half, and it's been, I won't get into details. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's, it can be disheartening. But we keep vigil, right? For not just any one person or any one concept or any one idea or feeling. No. We who do the work, and I know that you do the work, I can feel that you do the work, but we who do the work, we sit quietly and tend to the fires for all of us. All of us. It doesn't matter what side or what, variables or attributes or whatever, affiliations, alignments, whatever. We hold visual for all beings everywhere. And as the saying goes, you hope that all beings will be happy and free. But days like this, it's hard. It's hard to believe that the work does anything for anybody at all, And I don't like to be a pessimist. I am a bit of a cynical person. Yes. I am. But, I look at things that, like these images, this priest, this, kind of echo of Abraxas or something like this. And there's just a sense of, the universe is so beautiful and we have so much opportunity, right? We have so much opportunity to be so many things and to be none of the things. And, it's expansive, and yet here we find ourselves often in these small little corners of reality, and things are not great, And I don't know. I don't think I have any answers besides I pray, and I hope that, you know, whatever that does or whatever that means, you know, it affects the world in a way that alleviates some of the pain for others. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. If you have anything to say, put it in the comments. You know, I don't know. We have a T and a T. We have T's, T, all over. So T seems to be important for you. Now, it does feel like there's almost a sense of maybe there's a person being left behind here. Two people going forward, one being left behind. A sense of almost kind of like being made to feel bad for moving forward. But this energy, it feels like as soon as I start to see it, it's like it's cut off immediately. And I feel like for you, it's almost kind of like as soon as somebody starts to, you know, set any kind of, I have to say expectation or wanting, of you that you are not comfortable with, I feel like you're just at a point where it's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not entertaining this. And I feel like that's a pretty powerful thing for you. I feel like that's something that's maybe a little bit new. And I feel like, you know, of course, in our quiet moments, there can be kind of this questioning, should I have said that? Should I have done that? Is this the right course of action? But I feel like for the first time in a long time, you're hearing yourself and you're feeling yourself and you are listening to yourself. Okay? So I don't think this is a bad thing at all, actually. I think this is wonderful for you because it's going to alleviate some of the just stuff in your life that's just there because we feel like we have to have it, right? And sometimes we need to just clean our lives out to realize that that's what, you know, has been kind of oppressing us, is all the things that we fill our life with. And some of them just don't belong anymore. Now we have the number 11 for our first lucky number. Number 15. Number 75. Okay. All right. Well, Libra, I love you. Thank you for being here. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, check out one of my lives. Yeah. All right. I love you. Bye-bye.